What's going on YouTube? Today I'm going to be bringing you guys my San Francisco 49ers offensive playbook. Now, I've been running this playbook for about 2 weeks. I've been waiting to do an ebook for my channel because I really want to get comfortable with this with this playbook. It's a pretty balanced playbook. It has it has a lot of good pass plays, really good amount of run plays, which really allows you to play balanced. But as you guys can see right here, this is a weekend league game. And what could go wrong in this game did go wrong. First play of the game right here. We kick it off. Very first play of the game. We kick it off. Dion, goes crazy for 97 yards, takes it all the way to the house, and really unfortunate right there. So he ends up kicking the ball back, and I say, okay, that's an unfortunate way to get the game started. Now, this is a play that you guys will see in the ebook, but it's supposed to be a stretch, but it also has a fake handoff, and you could throw a slant. So, second play of the game right here, you make a really bad read, and I throw in a pick six, and I just gave up that kick return touchdown, and then second play of the game, I throw a pick six, and that's just absolutely brutal. So I start, you know, passing the ball a little for a few, 25, 30 yards. I start marching down the field, and as you guys can see right here, I'm on my opponent's 45-yard line. And look at number 80, Jerry Rice. He just broke. If I pass lead that outside, and then Josh Allen for some reason throws up and away, and I throw another pick, and you guessed it, he spins me out, returns it to the house for another touchdown. And I mean, that's absolutely brutal. Kickoff return for a touchdown, two pick sixes. Now it gives me it gives my opponent the impressive performance. It asks me, do I want to concede? I'm really deflated right now. I just threw two pick sixes. I know I shouldn't quit because I know I'm a good player. It's only the first quarter. I have literally the whole game to go. I get the ball at half. If I'm not, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? If I could just score two touchdowns, I get the ball at half. I could still win this game. So we go on to the second quarter. I do get the ball, or I give him the ball. He ends up punting the ball to me. I go down, score a touchdown, and there's only about like 40 seconds left, and he actually throws a pick, and I just don't. I don't have enough time to score a touchdown, so I just end up settling for three. So at this point, the score is 21-10. I take the whole third quarter driving down the field. I do score a. If we go down right here, I actually settle for three. As you guys can see right here, 3 minutes 43 seconds. I end up taking a field goal, and then my opponent busts out a 63-yard run with Kenyon Drake for a touchdown. And at this point, I'm just thinking the game is over. I'm deflated. I'm super deflated right now. I'm sick to my stomach. But can I, yeah, can I come back? Can I dig deep down? Can I dig deep inside and pull it out of my ass? So I start marching down the field, marching down the field, marching down the field. I find Randy Moss for a 52-yard touchdown, kick my extra point. He starts running the ball, running the ball. Has no success. He punts me the ball, and then again, Randy Moss 63-yard bomb, 63-yard bomb, and we're right back in this game. I'm not sure what the score's at this point, but does it actually show me? He doesn't, but his safety doesn't actually drop back all the way, and we hit Moss. That isn't for a touchdown. We actually ended up pounding it in with Alvin Kamara. So at this point, we have to go for two. I think this 63-yard touchdown, we had to go for two. Okay, it's not gonna show us, but nonetheless, I end up tying the game on a 2 point conversion on the last play of the game. Well, actually, he gets two plays. He just runs the ball, but we go to overtime. Coin flip. He gets the ball first. I'm like, no, not like this. No, don't let me do all this work just to give him the ball, and then him go down and march the ball. He goes, marches down the ball, or marches down the field like 40 yards, and then he throws me a pick. He throws me a pick. I march down the field. I take my field goal, and I win the game 31-28 after being down 21-0. Ladies and gentlemen, 21-0. Now, we all know why you guys are here. You guys are like, yo, Alpha, what playbook, what plays did you run? Well, here you go. Alright, guys, so the playbook we're going to be looking at today is the 49ers offensive playbook. Now, you're going to want two slot apprentices and a backfield master. And if you don't have that, you're going to want to use a hot route master quarterback. And let's get into it. Alright, guys, so starting off out of wing tight, I do sub in a backup lineman, and then any tight end right here that has good run blocking will do. In this case, I'm using fullback Quentin Nelson, but the first play is going to be stretch alert X Lukey. Now, you could just run it stock. I'll show you what it looks like stock. That's stock, just a simple stretch to get the run game going. But what I like to do to mix it up is I'll actually motion over this tight end from the left side over to the right. I'll ID either middle linebacker, and I'll double team the edge end just to secure the edge for me. And obviously just follow your blocks. You're gonna have a lot more blocking because you have three extra tight ends at the strong side. Now obviously keep running it until your opponent can show that they could stop it. But if they start run committing, as you can see over to the right side, Randy Moss is on a slant, so you could fake the handoff and then just throw the drag. It got throw out a sack right there, but there was nobody near me. But I'll run it again one more time. Motion over your backup tight end, and then keep an eye on that slant. If it's not covered, throw it. I'm throwing it regardless right here. And as you guys can see right there, if he's in a single coverage or if he run commits, it's gonna be an easy touchdown. And with that route tech and with that route tech, he's gonna break really quick. And that's pretty much for single back. And then out of I form, I do like to run two sets out of I form. One out of I form wing, same thing right here. I'll put in my backup lineman, my audibles. I'll keep one stretch alert X Lukey just to give them a different look. I'll put in fullback dive, and then I'll also put in fullback halfback toss. Now the fullback halfback toss isn't as good as it was in previous Maddens. We're gonna take a look right here at stretch X Lukey. It's the same thing, except this time I'll just motion my fullback over, and then I'll just run the ball simply. Really good run block right there. Obviously, the better run block you have, the longer your guys will actually hold that block. And then fullback dive, simple. Mix it up. They expect stretch. They'll shift their line, and leave a gap open, right down the middle. And then fullback halfback toss, as I was saying, isn't really as good as it has been as in past Maddens. But it's one of those things where they're expecting either stretch or fullback dive, and then they just won't see this coming. You'll toss it, and you'll just have all this room over here. And then the other look out of I form is, I think it's called I form close. Let me take a time out. It's gonna be I form close. So, and then I'll do the same thing right there. I'll sub out my tight end for either a tackle or Quentin Nelson. In this case, I'll put in Quentin Nelson, and then I'll put a tight end at wide receiver, just for better run block. And then the audibles, one's gonna be halfback stretch, the other one's gonna be halfback lead dive, and then the other one you could use toss, but that's pretty much it. Also power O is a good look that's different. Also halfback ISO. There's just, I don't know, I form close has really good run plays, but nothing too complicated right here. You could leave your fullback inside. You could motion him out. Just mix and match. Let me show you guys halfback stretch again. Let's run to the strong side, motion over your fullback, just to have a good lead blocker. And Marcel Reese didn't really do anything right there, but these are just run plays to get your run game going. This isn't the meat and potatoes of this playbook. It's just there if you need it. Let's take a look at actually halfback ISO, because halfback ISO is really underrated. I don't see much people running it. It's usually just like stretch or like outside zones and stuff like that, inside zones. But halfback ISO is really good right there. We're actually gonna move on from there. And now one of my main formations right here is Y off trio weak. I actually sub in Quentin Nelson right here. You guys could use a tight end if you guys don't want to put an extra lineman over there or a backup tackle. I personally like Nelson because he's a good pass blocker. Um, good run block. So if I ever run inside zone, but for the most part, I like to have five linemen blocking right here because this formation is towards more to like towards deep shots or like 20-yard passes, and sometimes you just need that extra time. So having six linemen is really good right there. But as I said earlier in the video, you're gonna want two slot apprentices. Over on this left side, you could really have whoever, and then you're gonna want your speedster with route tech on the very right side, and then inside right here is where you're gonna want your other slot apprentice or route tech or route tech. And the main the main play really, you only really need one play is PA post shot dig. Reason reason being you only need one play is because you have hot route master or slot apprentice, and the play is gonna be set up like this. You're gonna put your slot guy on a cross, your running back on a Texas, and your left guy on a smoke screen, and whoever they play, as you guys can see right here, my crosser in the slot took away that corner. The smoke screen brought down the corner, and so that Texas route, got obviously got really open. But you could mix and match your routes right here because you have so much versatility with Hot Route Master and your backfield master. So we're gonna do the same thing right here. Just bring in Moss, put him on a deep crosser, put your running back on a Texas route, and then obviously, whatever's open, take it. Let me actually run backwards just so I could show you guys some more plays. But if we look over to the left side right here, I always run it with the red route with the hot route on the right side. But let's take a look at number 17 over on the left side. If he's playing off coverage, which he might right here, it's one of those things that where in solos I can't pick what defense they're running. But if we look at 17 over to the left side, let me put the running back on the Texas route. So the cornerback isn't always manned up, and that's going to be an important thing because if they drop back, for the most part, it's going to be at least 5 yards. So always look at that, and that route is always there for a reason. And let's just say, for example, everything's back, right? Like he has really deep purples. He has this my square manned up. He uses triangle, and literally nothing's open. What you're gonna want to do is playmaker square to the middle of the side, from the side over towards the middle, because the users are going to be following the Texas route, and then all his guys are going to drop back to cover Moss and Jerry and all those deep crossers. So it's going to be really hard to stop every single thing, and then obviously mix in inside zone because your opponent will probably go heavy pass D, and it's just one of those things where you guys can mix it up now. Other things you could do right here, motion over Moss inside, and you could put both R1 and square on corner routes. So now you have corner route threats, and then same thing, square on a smoke, and then triangle on a Texas. Moss or my Jerry Rice isn't actually on a corner. So that's one more thing. If they're running their purples too short, you could throw over top. If they're running their zones high, then you could just throw under. As you guys can see right here, square, stays open, and as you guys saw right there, easy 5 yards right there minimum because he's not manned up. So that's that right there. Let me try see if I get a corner route open, and let me show you guys why it's super efficient, because your opponent's gonna get frustrated by being burned over top. So if he sets his purples high, then you just pass lead down. Uh, let's look over to the right side at Randy Moss, see what we could do. So as you guys can see right there, that purple played a little bit deep, but it's one of those things where if you guys have more room, just pass lead over top, and if he's just like on a 30-yard purple, then just pass lead down, and it's gonna be super frustrating. He's gonna have to mix his zones, his depths at different yardage, and it's just gonna be super annoying. But I'm gonna go ahead and get the ball back, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the last route we're actually gonna look at is Randy Moss's deep crosser. So it'll be the exact same setup, except this is gonna be a cover three beater. So we've all seen cover three beaters, and they're not really that good this year. But I found that this one right here, stock, works pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it like this with our base setup, and as you guys can see right there, he struggles to get over top. I know he's open, but online mud, that's probably gonna get bagged. So what I like to do is, instead of leaving him on that stock route right there, or I mean, you could still leave him stock, but motion him over inside, and I mean, he's lighting up, so obviously he's gonna catch it if you single covered. But if you leave it stock and motion him inside, and you run that crosser with Rice, smoke screen, square, and then put your running back on that Texas route, his guys are gonna come play downwards, and that's actually gonna leave Moss open over top right there. Usually that safety will come down to play your running back, but he didn't right there. But I mean, that's if the beater's not open, you have a big gain with Camara right there. And then also, if he's just not getting open over top, don't be scared to motion him inside and then put him on a regular crosser. So that's his stock route right there. If you put him on a crosser, he'll play a little bit lower, but you can also pass lead Moss down or up. So let's take a look at Moss right here. We'll read that safety. So he's dropping back inside. So in this case, we'll pass lead up because that third is right there. And that's gonna be an easy beater right there if he's playing cover three without deep halving, and then if he does deep half, that running back Texas route is gonna get wide open. Okay, so the next formation is actually gonna be split close, and you're gonna want to utilize your fullback, specifically for like run blocking. But your audibles, you're gonna want power O, halfback wheel, PAF slide, and then I'll go over each one. But those are gonna be your main plays. Now, if you come out and PAFB slide, what I like to do is I'll actually take a timeout. What I'll actually do is my two slot apprentices, I'll put them on corner routes, and then both my running backs on either flat routes, or I'll just leave them out there to pass block. So square, I'll put on a corner route. Same with circle. I'll leave X on that inside post. Camara, flat route or Texas route, whatever you want. I prefer flat routes. If it's not man coverage, if it's man coverage, then I'll just do Texas route. But that's gonna be the play right there. And obviously corner routes open, just regular man to man's always gonna get open. Now, the reason I like split close was for this power O run play. And I know it's 3rd and 69. I had to, do some. I had to get the ball back, to show you guys more plays. But this was the main reason I got this playbook. Now, unfortunately, it's not that great. I'm not going to lie. I think the Pats power O might be a little bit better. But this play just hasn't performed how I really wanted it to. But what's cool about this play is you could actually make it look like gun bunch. You motion out your fullback or tight end, whoever you have over there. It might have to be a fullback, but let me take another timeout right there. But you can make split close look like bunch and literally run the exact same schemes in bunch, but out of split close. So let's come out in PAF slide. We're gonna motion our fullback over, and now the route combos are gonna be the exact same as we just did, except for square and R1. So X, you're going to want to streak, put circle on a corner, square on a corner, triangle on a Texas or a flat route. I'll just leave him in a flat route right here. And then R1, you're going to want to put him in a flat route also. So it's going to look like this. So you're going to have a cover 2 beater with X. You're going to throw over top with one of your corners, take the flat route, take the Texas route. So we're actually forced, to throw it to X just because it's 4th and 59. But that's a really good cover 3 beater because the purple on the right side is actually going to, or not the purple, the deep half on the right side is gonna buy it on that corner route, and that's gonna leave X open. So you just pass lead X over top and outside, and that's gonna be a really good play right there. But did I set my audibles correctly? Let me see. Yeah, so obviously I already showed you guys what's it called, power O. But a good sneaky play is fullback inside. You motion your running back to the outside. Now your opponent isn't gonna think that you're gonna run the ball. But when you have a fullback that has like 93, 94 speed, you run the ball and you take advantage of that speed and trucking. So we're gonna run that back one more time. You know, you're passing the ball, you're throwing your flat routes, your Texas routes, your corners, your flats, all that. You run power O. You give them you give your opponent a look that he hasn't seen before. He's thinking, okay, he's got a fullback inside. He probably has him back there to pass block, and you don't. You just hit him literally fullback inside, and so it's a really underrated, really good run right there. But that's mostly everything out of strong close power O fullback inside. You know, if you guys run bunch, you could you utilize your bunch just by motioning your fullback outside, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and get the ball back and show you guys one last scheme. Okay, now I would be selling myself short and selling you guys short if I didn't go over strong close. Now I know strong close is really popular. I don't run it a lot, but I'd be lying to you guys if I, didn't show you guys the plays that I do run. Now for the most part, I only run 3 plays out of here, and the 3 plays are gonna be. Let me set them up first. So the first play right here is gonna be halfback dive. The second play is gonna be up just on top of that PA deep, and the second play is gonna be mesh post. So those are the only 2 plays I really only run. This halfback dive is, I don't know why, but it's really, really good. Like, really, really good. If your opponent doesn't have inside stuff, or even if he does, and you just simply double team him, this inside zone or inside dive is halfback dive is really, really good. I don't know why. The blocking is just amazing on it. It splits the seams right up the middle, and it's really good, really versatile. So, you know, um, just it's a good play to mix in just because the run block is really good. You have a really good fullback, with 92, 93 speed. Obviously, if you guys have Marsaurus, I know he's expensive, but I utilize him in this playbook so much. If you guys saw my last video, I was really high on Chris Cooley just because those guys that could run block that have really good speed just make playbooks really, really good. Now the other play was this PA deep play. Now how I'll set it up is I'll just put Moss on the corner route. I'll leave Circle on his regular route, and then Chimera either a flat route or a Texas route. And this is gonna be a man-to-man beater. If this is like right there, he was in a purple route. So if that purple is playing down, then you just throw over top to Rice, and then if he's playing deep, then you just check it down to your flat right there. But really good play right there where you're gonna have multiple guys open. Another setup you guys could do is put your running back on a Texas route, pass block your fullback, and obviously the tight end I have out there right now is Quentin Nelson, just for the pass block, because tight ends I don't really utilize them that much unless they're just there to like pass block or run block. But mixing fullback dive, you guys already have so many other plays in your arsenal. We're actually gonna go ahead and flip it. We're gonna go ahead and max protect, circle on a deep, on a crosser. R1, you could put him out on a flat route like this, but for the most part, I'll just put him for pass pro, and then triangle on a Texas route, because I really like having that user having to stay inside the field. Like, I don't want him to go cover any of my deep stuff. Now if you take a look at square, it's not too open, but it's really hard to get a purple to play that far deep. So if you do have Hot Route Master, what I recommend is again, put circle on a what's it called, on a crosser. Put your running back on a flat route, and then R1 on a Texas route. So that just makes things way more complicated for your opponent, and you're gonna have so much versatility. So if you look at square's there for a touchdown. So that this formation or this play specifically is really good with Hot Route Master, because you could force them to have. They're gonna have to have a safety play over top. They're gonna have to have a hard flat and a purple out there. So it's just gonna be super annoying to stop this. And obviously there's so many more route combos. I'm just gonna go over one more, and that's gonna be the wheel route and the flat route with your fullbacks, and then I'll just put both guys on crossers. So now they have to worry about you. In this case right here, we'll just look at our running back Kamara. So in this case, we'll just take a look at him. Now obviously he was manned up right there, but if he's running zone coverage, there's no zone in the game that will stop that. He has to man it up, but even if he mans it up, he could still play over top of that linebacker or safety. And then if he's user coverage, you're gonna have other routes right there. I guess I do have one more crack at it. I guess and I show you guys one more pass, or I mean, same play but a different setup. So say you put your wheel route. I don't like this setup. Wheel route. Okay, so now that your wheel route is over to the right, you're gonna want your fullback on a Texas and then your crossers. So utilize hot route master with your fullback. Have them, guessing, is he gonna be on a Texas route, Is he gonna be on a flat route? Just mix it up, and it's gonna make your scheme that much harder to stop, because it's gonna be super frustrating, like not know what you're gonna do. Like if you're not just running the same play over and over with the same routes, when you're mixing it up, it just makes it that much harder to stop. So okay, so this last play is gonna be, what's it called? It's called mesh post. So this square route, you're gonna want to motion it over to the right side and then streak circle. So when you motion over square, it'll bring that safety either down or outside. So the only setup where your fullback is already on a preset flat route, you're gonna want to pass block your tight end just because you want time, and then triangle your halfback. You're gonna want to put him on a flat route or Texas. In this case, we'll just do Texas because it won't let me put him on a flat. Let me take a timeout. But ideally, you're gonna want your both your fullback and your running back to be on flat routes, just in case they're playing over top. So let me see if I could put Kamara on a flat route. It's not letting me put him on a flat route for some reason. So flat routes, okay. So I'll just put him on a Texas route. It's not letting me. But streak circle, block X, your tight end, motion over square. Now in this case, it's gonna be cover 3. So circle should be a touchdown. That safety is not gonna follow to the outside, and the corner's gonna bite inside. So you just pass lead outside, and a deep half. When you have a deep half out there, I shouldn't have scored actually, but when you have a deep half, let me go over to the replays. So when you motion him over, a deep half is gonna go back and follow circle. In this case, 21 broke inside, but if he's deep half, he's gonna go over top. In that case, you would just pass lead Moss outside or over, and say he's playing. Say one of these corners is playing over top and the other one a third at a depth where it's not gonna get open. That's why you have Kamara on your flat route over here. He was on a wheel route because it wouldn't let me for some reason put him on a flat route. But a Texas route works just as good because now that third is covering Moss so far down the field that there's no third short enough to stop your running back. Now we come and take a look over at our fullback. Same thing over here. If there's no flat route over here and everything is covered over to the right side, this is obviously covered. But sometimes this fullback will be wide open also. So that's the playbook right there, guys. I did get 16 wins in this past weekend league. I haven't been really playing that much over the past 3 weeks. This is actually in the past 4 weeks. This is the first weekend league I actually played all of. For the past 3 weeks combined, I've played maybe a total of like 11 games. I just haven't really been playing the game that much, but I wanted to lab this playbook for a while so I could bring it out to you guys. But that's pretty much everything, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed this playbook. Let me know if you guys are going to use it down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, cause I got it like that. Flow so smooth like I got it on tap. Yeah, and I'ma say it be a good night while I'm on my Yingling, while I'm drinking Bud Light. Can you get it when you miss me? Like I'm with